There's a strange kind of pain that shows up after someone leaves. You tell yourself you miss them, but if you're honest, it's not just them. It's how you felt when you were with them. Who you were, how alive you felt. And now that version of you is gone too. You replay moments in your head, not just what they said, but how you felt in those moments. You felt lighter, more confident, more like yourself, or maybe more like the person you wanted to be. And now without them, everything feels slightly off, quieter, heavier. You start to believe they were the source of that good feeling, that they gave you something you can't get back. So your mind loops, it idealizes, it edits out the bad parts, and slowly you begin to miss a version of reality that never fully existed. This isn't weakness, it's a pattern, a very human one. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You don't just miss them, you miss the identity you stepped into around them, the version of you that felt more complete with them. Because relationships don't just connect people, they activate identities. Different people bring out different versions of you. One person may make you playful, another makes you ambitious, another may make you feel safe. But when they leave, that version of you loses its trigger. So it fades. And your brain interprets that loss as missing them. But what you're really grieving is access to a part of yourself. Your brain doesn't store memories like a camera. It stores them as emotional states. This is tied to something in psychology called state-dependent memory. You don't just remember events. You remember how you felt when those events happened. Think of your mind like a room with different lighting. Each person in your life changes the lighting. With them, everything looked warmer, softer, more meaningful. And your brain learned that this person equals this emotional state. Hence, your identity and your emotional state became linked to them. This is also connected to dopamine and attachment systems. When you're around someone who makes you feel good, your brain releases dopamine, not just for them, but for who you are in that moment. You become associated with pleasure. Confidence becomes easier. Joy becomes natural. So your brain creates a shortcut that this person equals a better version of me. And when they're gone, your brain isn't just withdrawing from them, it's withdrawing from that version of you, like losing access to a part of your own personality. That's why it feels so deep, so confusing, and so hard to explain. So how do you deal with this? Not by forcing yourself to move on, but by understanding what actually happened. First, separate the person from the state. Ask yourself what you felt when you were with them, not what they did or said, but what changed in you with them. Maybe you felt more confident, more relaxed, or more expressive. That feeling didn't come from them alone. It came from how your brain responded in that environment. And that means those states are recreatable. Second, identify the activated identity. Instead of asking why you miss them, ask who you were when you were with them. Be specific. Were you more open, less anxious, more spontaneous? That version of you isn't gone, it's just inactive. In psychology, this connects to self-concept theory. You don't have one fixed identity. You have multiple versions of yourself that get activated in different contexts. That person didn't create you, they just revealed a version of you. Third, recreate the environment, not the person. Your brain responds to patterns, not just people. So instead of trying to replace them, rebuild the conditions that brought that version of you out. If you felt confident with them, ask what made you feel safe enough to be confident. Was it being accepted, being heard, being understood? Then start creating those conditions in other areas of your life, with new people or even alone. This is how identity becomes internal instead of dependent. Fourth, stop romanticizing the emotional memory. Your brain edits memories. It highlights the emotional peaks and blurs the rest. This is called rosy retrospection. You remember how good it felt, but not always the full picture. So when you feel that pull to go back, pause and remind yourself that you are missing a feeling, not just a person. That creates clarity and control. Fifth, reclaim ownership of your identity. You have to stop outsourcing your identity to other people, because the more you do, the more fragile it becomes. Instead, ask yourself how you can become that version of yourself without needing someone else to trigger it. This is where real growth happens. Not when you find the right person, but when you become the person who can access those states on your own. Here's the simple mental model. People don't give you emotions. They unlock them. Think of yourself like a piano. Every key already exists inside you. Different people just play different notes. Some bring out music you didn't know you had, and when they leave, the music stops. But the piano is still there. Every note still exists within you. You just haven't learned how to play it yourself yet, so maybe you don't actually miss them as much as you think you do. Maybe what you miss is feeling like yourself in a way you haven't felt since. And that's not something you have to chase. It's something you can rebuild, slowly and quietly, on your own terms. Because the version of you you're grieving was never theirs to take. It was always yours. You just met it through them.